I know. Why don't I ask the police if I can have permission to film on the platform? A train driver who is on strike now for more pay is currently on some places £54,000 a year. Does that shock you?
We do have a problem with the mic because we don't allow mics on the station. So you can photo and shop with things like that, but not a mic because it looks very similar to a.
As your observation. So what I can do, I can blur out your face.
No, not acceptable.
Not acceptable.
No.
I can blur out your hand as well.
Don't care.
Excuse me.
I've got no interest in talking.
Sorry, can't hear you.
I've got no interest in talking.
Have you not? I only said excuse me.
They don't allow that.
They don't.
They don't allow that.
I'm just going to get a quick question from you on camera.
No,
very quickly.
No.
Where do I get permission?
I'm not ready, man.
But this is a public space.
This isn't a public space, this is my station.
This is a private property with public spaces.
This is my station.
Yeah, I understand it's private.
I'm going to ask you to turn it off. I'm going to.
You mentioned the word auditor. I'm a journalist.
Right, okay.
You know, you've been a bit hostile, and I do think you've been a little bit hostile, sir. But
You need to leave the station, don't
Oh,
you?
no problem. I will be leaving the station.
By law 13, to leave the station, please.
Yeah, no
Been asked
problem.
by the area manager to leave the station, to leave, thank you.
You said you had no reason to speak to me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Do you smoke that beard? Right, so train strikes taking place. Not many trains running today. But what I want to talk about is the price of a train driver. So the wages of a train driver. Allegedly about £54,000 a year. And they're on strike for more money. But from what I understand, £54,000 a year for a train driver is much, much higher than a police officer's pay. Yet they still want more money at the trains. So let's see if British Transport Police get paid higher or lower than train drivers. But first I need to find a British Transport Police officer and see if three of you together. Oh, do you know what? Can I just have a quick interview with one person while all three of you stood together?
In relation.
Look at him walking away. I just want to ask you one question. Do you know how much a train driver gets paid?
No.
Do you know how much a train driver gets paid?
No, because each company have different pay levels. You've got Freightliner, you've got...
He's off, he's left you to it. I just want to say before I go, your basic wage as a British Transport Police officer, where does it start?
Low.
26,000?
A lot less.
Really? So you don't get paid altogether the same as South Yorkshire Police? Can I just say this? I'll leave this with you. A train driver who is on strike now for more pay is currently on some places £54,000 a year. Does that shock you? You are doing a difficult job. You deal with people on a very dangerous level sometimes.
Yeah, they've got a difficult job as well, Mr. Mayor. It's obviously concentration.
Concentration? Is it not like driving a vehicle or driving a car?
No. It's called guided transport. So effectively, they're driving train on fixed tracks, so they can't move. And obviously they've got to notice every signal, and at some points you get like tunnel vision, so you've got to concentrate on the line ahead and notice all the speeds and take...
You've got a fair point, but I actually do recognise that as being similar to a bus driver. They're on the motorway.
Possibly the fucking tram driver is the same as a train driver because it's guided.
So a tram driver in Sheffield may well be on a few thousand a year, 54, 53.
I don't know, so I haven't been that deep into it. So.
But I am shocked that I think that your job is more dangerous, and I think you should be paid more than a train driver. That's just my opinion.
Thank you very much. If you say that to the government, it'd be very much appreciated.
Take care.
All right, my friend. All the best.
That's a shocking tribulation, is the word I would use. But can you believe it? The trains are on strike, and the police are paid much less than train drivers. Hello? Is it not?
You go in town and make a good video.
What's that, sorry?
Is that social media?
Yes.
What do you do in social media, right?
It's a public interaction, public record of events. The train strikes are taking place. Obviously, you're security here, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you YouTuber or what?
It's social media.
Social media.
Yeah.
You can make a nice video over there in town.
I could make a nice video here as
No,
well.
you can make it outside if you want it.
Okay. Am I allowed to video record in the train station?
Actually, they don't allow that.
They don't.
They don't allow that.
I'm just going to get a quick question from you on camera.
No,
very quickly.
No.
Where do I get permission?
I'm not ready, man.
Where do I get the permission from?
I'm not ready, man. If you wanna go to the office over there.
So if I go down to the office, I get permission.
Platform 5A.
5A.
Yeah.
I'll go get permission.
Down there, yeah.
Thank you very much. Right, so I just need to go to platform 5A because apparently video recording is not allowed in the train station. So let's go and see, shall we? Whew. Can you just tell me where I need to go to get permission to video record?
Supervisor's just down there.
Just down there? Right, so our supervisor's just down here apparently, so let's have a look down here. Ah, station supervisor. Here we are. Hello. Can I have permission to film on your station?
What are you doing, chap?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
What is it you're doing?
I'm doing social media, so it's a public record of events. I mean, I'm just covering why the trains are on strike. Am I not allowed? Why not?
Because you asked permission and I'm refusing your permission.
How?
We'll only allow people to do it for their own thing. It's not a.
It is personal. It's for my social media.
No, but if you put it on social media, then
Yeah.
it becomes something different. If it's for your use only, I have no problem you using it. But you shouldn't be using it on social media, and that's why I'd refuse you not to use it.
Do you know what social media is? It's a public place.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying to you is, how people view the railway is a thing. So that's they'll view it through a lot of different things. But what I'm saying to you is, if you're going to use it for anything other than your own personal use, then no.
It will be for my personal use.
But what are you going to? So what? Who else is going to see it?
Well, do you know when people come onto your platform, members of the public,
Yeah.
the same kind of people who would use your train station?
No, and I get that, but what I'm saying is we do allow people to film on the station. If you just said to me, I want to film these trains as a train enthusiast or something like that, I have no problems with that whatsoever.
There are a lot of train...
It's the use of it that's concerning.
Yeah, there are a lot of train enthusists who watch these kind of
I don't know
videos.
what you're telling me. I don't know you from Adam. I don't know what your interests or your things are. But from my perspective, my company tell me I have to be cautious about what platforms people are going to show our company and the like that they're going to portray me. So what I'm saying to you is, what are you using it for? If you're using it just as a train enthusiast, I don't have any problem.
In reference to that,
I do have a problem with the mic because we don't allow mics on the station. So you can photo and shop with things like that, but not a mic, because it looks very similar to a thing for drivers.
A thing?
It's a speed camera.
They think this is a speed camera?
Well, they can do, because that's what our speed camera looks like.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know trains had speed cameras.
Well, we test the drivers when they're coming in to make sure that they're not speeding.
But the best thing about it is, if people are aware of things like this, they shouldn't be speeding anyway.
Well, it's the drivers, it's an internal check. It's like, for example, every route into the station has a speed limit on it. So we test that the drivers are sticking to those speed limits.
Well, the driver's got nothing to fear of something that may or may not be a speed camera checker.
I'm not saying it has, I'm just saying it concerns them when they see it, because that's what they think's happening, even if it's not.
Oh, that's dangerous then, isn't it?
So what I'm saying...
Can I just say to you then, if it concerns them, then they shouldn't really be driving a train.
I've got a conversation. The fact is, if you want to use do you want to film on the station?
Yeah.
To film thing. You're not filming there now, are you, by the way?
Well, to show that this is actually...
Are you filming me now?
Yeah.
Can you stop filming there, please?
Why?
Because I don't want you
But this is a public interaction.
But I don't want you to film me. So
All right, well, I'll walk away then, and I'll leave you to it.
All right.
Well, thank you very much. But I'll just go and get some video footage, and then I'll leave. So I'll just let you know what I'm doing.
Right, okay. Would you stop filming me then, please?
Yeah, I'll stop filming you, yeah. So I'm just going to go out now and get a little bit of footage outside. You can see he doesn't want filming. So... This is what the train strike... This is what the train strikes... Woo! Yeah, this is what the train strikes do. It puts people on edge. You know, if a train's looking at me and they think this is a speed camera checker or a speed checker in some way, and it concerns the driver, then the driver should be more concerned about the speed that they are doing, not the fact that a camera may be pointing their way to check their speed. Under the Criminal Justice Act 1972, Section 33, this is deemed a public space. And the fact that it's deemed a public space because people can then use the trains. So that makes sense. So I'm going to walk back up the steps now, make my way across the top, see what happens. Not many people catching trains today, is there? I wonder why that is. But according to that, the Derby train is on time. Looks like someone's late for the train. I know. Why don't I ask the police if I can have permission to film on the platform? Excuse me?
I've got no interest in talking.
Sorry? Can't hear you.
I've got no interest in talking.
Have you not? I only said excuse me. Can I just ask you permission if I can film on the platform?
You'd have to ask the staff.
Sorry?
You'd have to ask the staff.
Yeah.
Station staff. It's their property.
Are you a sergeant?
No, it's their property. If you want to film on it, you need to go to platform 5 and go and see the supervisor and ask permission. If they say yes, that's fine, no problem. It is private property.
Can I just ask, have I done something to offend your colleague?
Our experience sometimes with people that go around being auditors has not always been favourable, and most of them come to poke the hornet's nest to try and get a rise out of us, so as you can appreciate from us.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So as your observation,
You'll need to speak to the manager on here. If they say no, you will need to leave the property or stop filming.
Yeah. Just as an observation then, you mentioned the word auditor.
Yeah.
I'm a journalist.
Right, okay. Similar, but either way, do you want to ask the question as whether you can or can't film on the property?
I will do then, thank you very much.
Stood right next to you there.
Oh, great stuff. Now then, photographers.
Do not give my consent to be recorded for
Sorry, I
a
can't
start.
hear you for radio.
Don't give you my consent to be recorded for a start, which you do need as a journalist, so I'll ask you to turn it off. Thank you.
Okay, so what I can do, I can blur out your face.
No, not acceptable.
Not acceptable.
No.
I can blur out your hand as well.
Don't care.
You don't care?
I've asked
You
you.
should care.
I do care a lot.
Are you the manager of Sheffield train station
I'm the
today?
area manager of all of this area.
Right, okay. Can I just ask you then, photographers are allowed to take photographs, aren't they?
Still photographs. The reason that you're not allowed to record without going through media and getting consent is it's because it's a counter-terrorism concern. So you're walking around my station, you're showing my station from open to close, and then you're putting it on a public forum without consent.
But this is a public space.
This isn't a public space, this is my station.
This is a private property with public spaces.
My station.
Yeah, I understand it's private.
I'm going to ask you to turn it off. I'm going to ask you.
Well, what
if
I'll
you're
do-
not recording,
What I'll
and you're
do,
not travelling on a train, which has just left, which means you're not, I'm going to ask you to leave the station.
I'm going to leave the station.
Yeah.
And if you want to stay there with your hand up, then I don't see your face. I don't need to blur your face out then.
I honestly don't care. Just
You don't care? Well, put your hand down then.
take yourself off.
You know, you've been a bit hostile, and I do think you've been a little bit hostile, sir. But
You need to leave the station, don't
oh,
you?
no problem. I will be leaving the station.
By law 13 to leave the station, please.
Yeah, no
Been asked
problem.
By the area manager to leave the station, to leave, thank you.
You said you had no reason to speak to me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Do you smoke that beard? How rude. Anyway, I better leave because there are some good police officers in there, and I have experienced one. But I found that one a bit hostile. Oh well. I better leave the camera rolling to show that I'm leaving the area. Right, just for reference now, this is private property. The railway stations are private property. They have public access, but that's implied rights of access. You know, they expect you to use the services. It was nice to get a little interview with some of the good police officers, and nice to get an interview with some of the bad police officers. I do think at the end of the day, there's better ways of dealing with members of the public with a camera, and although they didn't want filming, I think the station manager was a little bit unprofessional, is the word. Yeah, I'd say unprofessional. Anyway, so this is the police station at the side of the railway station. Yeah. And British Transport Police usually are very nice people. I think it's time to make a complaint. British Transport Police, deliveries only for public access. Please use main reception on platform 1. Oh, right, okay. So I can't... Oh, do you know what? I'm not going to bother. If I go back in there, they'll just use that as an excuse to try and arrest me for returning back to land that I was asked to remove myself from. I might have committed a crime.
Okay, Mark.
Do you want to know about it?
If you've committed
I might have. I did
Right.
say to a man, do you smoke your beard? Is that offensive?
You what? Smoke your beard?
Do you smoke your beard? He had a beard, you see.
Did he
and-
seem offended?
No,
Okay.
but he
Don't
walked
complain
away.
about
I don't know, he walked away.
Right.
I thought it looked like old Auburn, you see. I'd asked him if he smoked his beard.
I appreciate there's going to be a joke at the end of
No,
this.
no, it's a
You've done this to
serious...
me before.
I'll tell you who it was.
You made me a joke.
I'm going to compare sizes.
I think he's got a bigger one than you. He's more important.
What was scored, you know?
2-1.
Who won you?
Wednesday.
I'd like to know, if you can help me, the difference between a police officer and a constable. Is that a hard question?
Watch the road, it's busy.
Watch the road.
Traffic, very busy.
Do you know where there's any cheap beer? The police operation now for the football match. It's just ended 2-1. Sheffield Wednesday won, Newcastle lost.
Sheffield to shit!
I've never met so many nice police officers recently,
Okay.
but I wonder if they're actually appeasing me.
No, I would.
I've never met you before, so I'm like this with everybody. So